Hello, everybody. This is Sara Perry, and this is the beginning of December. Welcome to December, to the thrills and the chills. Welcome to the newcomers out there. If you feel the desire to do so, then please do like, share, and subscribe. And hello to all my regulars. Lovely to have you on board. Thank you for all your wonderful comments. I love to hear from you, and also for those of you who have connected with me for private readings and consultations. Remember, anyone out there that would like to have a private read, please do get on down to the website and do check out the Advent calendar offers for December 2022. Oh my goodness, I really feel like this month is going to be very enterprising in many ways, but still really slow and really still. But at the same time, really fast and really go getting. This is going to be a very, very odd vibration this month, guys. So I'd just like to look at the main message for December for all of you so you know how to kind of continue forwards. Now, by the end of December, we're going to hit Mercury retrograde, okay? So things are going to already start slowing up from now, okay? Resist rushing forwards. Resist suddenly buying that last minute present for somebody, okay? I feel that it's coming from guilt and from fear, and it's because you will have seen somebody else buying something, or you're looking at what other people are doing for their kids, what they're doing for their parents. I can see some people sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, we haven't got enough money in the pot this month to do what we normally do. And you'd already made a decision probably back in May that you were going to have a quiet one anyway, and you were going to maybe just have a small Christmas, very simple. Maybe I'm seeing some people kind of producing things from the past. I'm recycling, that's what I mean. Keeping things really simple on a budget, a $10 or £10 budget. And, suddenly that last minute, you get caught up with all that thrill and excitement and Christmas cheer and think, you know what, I'm just going to bite the bullet and I'm going to buy this person the next iPhone. And it could be really the biggest mistake you ever make, okay? I'm just telling you now, don't go out and buy anything too ostentatious just because you feel guilty or you feel that person's going to be upset. Because you'll probably find, and what I'm seeing with one particular person who probably won't be listening to this, or you may hear about it, that this gift that has ended up bankrupting you or putting you behind in next month's rent, or it's come out of the holiday fund or some kind of university fund, which is going to be more useful, is, this gift ends up down a toilet, or it ends up broken first thing, or it doesn't work properly. Now, this is typical of Mercury retrograde, okay? When you buy things, often they break. Communication. So think about TVs, washing machines, cars, bikes, that kind of thing. Let things come to you a little bit more. So if somebody says to you, hey, look, do you want to use this for a gift? Because I haven't even unwrapped it. Say I'm getting a bike for some reason, a boy's bike for maybe a 7 or 8 year old. He's been going, I really want a bike, and you've been, he's been looking at his big shiny new one. And then a friend comes along and says, look, I've got this one. It's second hand, but it's hardly been used. But if we spray it blue, it'll look fabulous. And this child is not going to know any different, all right? You stick some balloons on it, put a loudspeaker on it, he's going to love it. Children, are much more easily pleased than you think. At the end of the day, if it isn't a brand spanking new one, it's not going to get ruined straight away, and it's not going to lose its value quick enough. In fact, you can up the value with something that was originally maybe less value to start with. And I mean price wise, not that it's not a valuable commodity, because everything is if it's used. And it's been loved. So consider, where your investments are going, and that Christmas Day is literally one day, and that you don't have to live up to the Joneses. That most people hide away during Christmas Day. You don't really hear from anyone. Everything goes very, very quiet. And then once the celebrations have been done and all the presents are opened and unwrapped, everyone kind of goes back to normal, and then it's like, oh, here we go, we've got New Year coming, that's all about getting ready and excitement and all that, and then we go into that kind of weird January thing. So just remember, the build up is actually can be the more fun thing than the actual day. Although I'm not belittling the day, guys, but I know for myself that I'm really busy during the Christmas period, and I find that I'm kind of chasing my tail. So by the time I get to Christmas Day, I just want to hide under the covers. I mean, what is wrong with being in a onesie? Although here in Spain it's beautiful weather generally, and I'm sitting outside on the porch. Just Find the time to be with the ones you love. Really, really consider what it was like when we were going through the pandemic and you couldn't have that, and how quickly that's forgotten. Um, this is a really weird retrograde time. We're in Mars already. They because Jupiter's direct, the giver of gifts could spark at any moment, and your personal Father Christmas or Santa Claus could come knocking on your door and give you exactly what you want. So manifest it, put it out there. Say, okay, right, there's less in the bank. I don't want to spend any money this year. I'd like to be able to pass gifts on. I'd like to be able to give that gift, but in a different way or in a better way that's going to be much more fulfilling and much more useful. Okay, I'm telling you now, if you rush out Christmas Eve and think I've got to buy the next best thing, it is not going to receive the way you think it is. And if your child was going on about it, they may well have forgotten it by Christmas Day and they'll be on to something else, because something else will be on an advert on the TV and will have sparked their interest. Remember how quickly things change. Over the last 6 weeks to 8 weeks, things have changed rapidly. Unexpected events have happened. Remember those things. I don't want you to dwell on them. I don't want you to kind of take them to your grave thinking, oh my God, it was a struggle for the rest of my life. I'm living in regrets. No, use it to your advantage. It's really important. Now, some people may be feeling really low at this time. They always are, okay? Doesn't have to stop you moving forwards. It doesn't have to stop you going forwards with a plan, or, if somebody gives you a gift, you can accept it and enjoy it. I'm getting somebody being given a beautiful tree, and it's something you've never had before, because you've always had to go and get the cheaper version that was on sale at the end of just before Christmas, or the one that was losing all its pines. I remember we bought this tree. We left it so last minute. By the time we got there, wasn't really anything to be had, so we had to rush to the supermarket and pick up this tree. And it was the funniest thing. Our apartment at the time had a great big front window facing the town. You could see all over the town from this. And we placed this tree in front of the window, and I think I shook it or moved it, and half of the pines just fell. It stripped it bare. So we turned the tree, obviously we had the tree facing us, which I think we must have had it with the decorations on with the pines, but the slightest movement, all these pines fell off. It's memorable, I still remember it, but we never really, over here there isn't, in Spain, it's not a big thing, Christmas trees. We actually ended up buying uh, a, a fake one while we were here, because it was we didn't have one the first year, couldn't get hold of one, because they just didn't sell them, because they don't celebrate in the same way here. It's very different. It doesn't change the Christmas. It's the thing. It's not all about that. But if you do receive something beautiful and you haven't had it before, and someone might think, oh, that's a ridiculous expense, or you fell in love with it and your soul was telling you to do this because it was something that was massive for your family. And this isn't, again, buying something electronic. It's not that kind of, I've got to get a tree. It's not that. It's just something comes at you and it speaks to you. And I'm talking early on, around the 10th of December. Don't not allow yourself to enjoy it because somebody else is without. Um, Maybe there's a way that they can share it with you. Find a new way forwards. There is some unexpected gifts coming. So again, if things don't really, you think, oh my God, I'm not going to get my bonus, I'm not going to afford it, just rest a while. Trust that you will be given what you need, because I feel it will come somehow. Something is going to be given. Again, this is to do with the Jupiter thing. The Mars and the Mercury energy is slowing things up and it's delaying things. But the Jupiter is, Jupiter's kind of spreading the happiness and shining a light, and it's putting that big star on the tree. It's time to step into your tiger mode this month, when it means to making agreements. Now, this isn't the best time to be signing agreements as such, right? As in branding something, investing in something. However, I feel like something needs to be dealt with. There needs to be a decision made, for some of you, and you're going to need to use, because it's about balance. It's about actually finding long-term balance and getting things right legally. And I feel it's something you may be putting off, and taking that chance will actually pay off. But you're going to have to use all your power to do it. This will effectively close a door and put something into place as well. And I do see something coming through the post, which is a gift of some kind, maybe a voucher, I don't know, a gift card, a win of a competition coming through, being hand delivered, which will show you it was worth it. I've got double 22 here. It's like double the power within if you use it in the correct way. Just watch addiction, especially around young people drinking a lot as well. I think, again, things need to be kind of, it could be a bit erratic mood-wise, emotionally, because of the Mars situation. It's really heating up because Mars is going to be even further away from the sun, so it's going to be more frustrating. Anyone that has issues or frustrations or wants to let it out is going to let it out. Okay, it could happen over the festive period, so keep maybe alcohol to a minimum, or at least be aware of how someone is drinking. I'm seeing a younger person particularly kind of going off the rails, and that upsetting the apple cart. Again, this could be, don't suddenly feel guilty and go, off you go get drunk, I'm going to give you 30 quid, and then 30 quid isn't going to go far, is it? But they end up in turmoil, or something goes wrong. I see a situation around travel last minute around the 23rd, 24th happening. And it's lucky as well. Lucky events coming into play again. Just hold fire. Hold fire. Don't be tempted to go and buy the more expensive, saying, there's only first class on hand. I feel something will come to light if you go on standby. That's for someone important out there. Leanne, Lorna, somebody who's listening to that. There is, there are, it is emotionally, take a chance on yourself. And I feel spend the time on self-love and care as much as you can. Take your time to get ready. Make that more about that than what you're bringing to the party. Bring you. You are the gift. You are the wonderful aspect of the party that will cheer things up. No, you are enough. Relationships wise, I feel again there's something that could come back or reoccur or come back round. This is typical of Mercury again going retro, although it's not going to be quite yet until the end of December. I'm seeing a detachment there, a need to detach a little bit. Don't get too stressed. Just let it happen and deal with it then. This is about making less effort, I feel, and stepping into your leadership. This could be a legal situation as well, where you've got to kind of step up, finally take the upper hand. I do see two new directions almost coming at the same time for some people. This is going to bring confidence. It's going to bring more security. Don't stop yourself from taking that step into the unknown. If somebody does offer you a trip somewhere and it is unexpected, a lover or maybe a family member, they say, right, we've got you a ticket last minute, you're not going to be on your own, this could be Jupiter, and then don't kind of talk yourself out of it. And that's another reason to not kind of make up for the loss, fill the space because it's empty, just because something isn't happening. I'm going to go and spend loads of money and make myself happy. I remember when I turned 30, I was living with a friend of mine at the time. I was renting a room, and it was a very little room, and I was working in a job I hated. I was a little bit love lost. Somebody I cared about was never going to be mine. I was kind of in that frame of mind of my soulmate, what's going to happen, why isn't this happening, that kind of thing. And I remember it was a few days to my 30th, and I was thinking, this is a really big birthday. I'm on my own, I'm working this awful job once a week. I haven't got any money. I was and I was really kind of, on a downer. And I felt like no one was really making an effort because no one was saying anything. Well, there was stuff going on behind the scenes that I didn't know about. But typical me, I said, right, I want to go and, get loads of food in and have a party, and I'm going to cheer myself up. So I went and spent money I didn't really have around Sainsbury's or the local supermarket. And I was kind of in between tears of, upset and happiness. One thing I will say is my friend knew all about what was going to happen and didn't kind of help me at that point or support me. But I do kind of think she could have just kind of steered me away from something, but she didn't. She just kind of let me get on with it. Anyway, I bought all this food, spent all morning making all this food because I was thinking, right, I'm going to have a party. I'm going to enjoy myself. I put on, the Barry White tune. I was going to go to maybe the bar later because there was, well, my now husband was going to be meeting me there, and it was awful weather. It was the biggest storm, and I just thought, right, I'm gonna make a, go for it. And I spent all this time doing it, and then all of a sudden my family turned up out of the blue, and they'd had it planned the whole time. They brought 30 gifts. It was beautiful. It was a really lovely thing. They didn't stay long, so they didn't have time to eat all the food, but they brought all the food as well. So I'd kind of wasted all this time buying all this food. Um, then I finally got down to the bar, saw my now husband, or my husband to be, for our first kind of connection, and he just shoved a bottle of champagne in my face and went, "Oh, you're late. See you later." And that was it. We did have a first date after that, but it was just the most erratic day, but most memorable time, really, that I'd had. And really the start of change. So know that things don't always, change comes sometimes with a little bit of quiet. It doesn't always happen straight away. It just, it creeps in, and there's lots of twists and turns before you can get this clarity. So just be aware of that things are in that process still. We're in a lull, and next year, 2023, is going to be fabulous. So, really enjoy the comfort and the love that this month can bring, and spend time in meditation, self-care, create a beautiful surrounding yourself out of natural things. Go and enjoy the process of it. The build up to Christmas, like I said, is much more, can be much more fun than the actual day. I finally, I do often get to the day, go, oh, that was not, it wasn't a letdown, but it wasn't really, it's like, that's it then. There's no way forwards, is it? It's done. It's done. Once you've opened them presents, you've had the lunch, that's it. Everyone's fat and fed and lays back. The build up, the going and choosing a tree, the fun time, drinking the hot chocolate, the watching the parades, the going and, just creating a beautiful ambience, the smells, everything about it is wonderful. So one thing we do kind of miss here because of the sun, it does change it. I am going back to the UK. In fact, I'm in the UK when you'll be listening to this. I've just pre-recorded it, but just to have that experience, and I will probably vlog about it later and tell you what happened, because I'm sure there'll be stories there. But anyway, enjoy this month, guys. Close things up, seal the deal with the stuff you have to emotionally. But don't kind of fill your space with stuff you don't need or that people aren't really going to appreciate. It's going to be really short-lived, and then soon we're going to be out of these retrogrades and everything's going to be sunny again. Have a wonderful Christmas. I will be speaking every day over the month of December, so if you don't catch my daily vlogs, have a great new year, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.